Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2014-15 academic year opening day celebration. It is a true pleasure, after serving as provost since 2006, to fill the acting president's role at Kutztown University and to host this event as we kick off another exciting academic year. Before we hear from our speakers, there are some individuals with us this morning who I would like to recognize. First, I would like to recognize Professor Daniel Neuschwander and the KU marching unit, and also Avalanche, the Golden Bear mascot, for giving us such warm greeting this morning. We also have some new faculty and staff members who have joined the Kutztown University family for the new academic year. And I would ask all the new faculty and staff to please stand so we can welcome you to KU. Anybody? Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to Kutztown University. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the members of the President's Cabinet for their help and support in my role as Chief Academic Officer, and in particular, more recently, as the Acting President. You know them all, but I will nevertheless ask them to stand up and remain standing as I call their names. Please hold your applause until all of them have been named. Mr. John Green, Mr. Jesus Peña, Mr. Jerry Silverman, Ms. Kimberly Scranage, Ms. Tracy Thompson. Thank you very much. Thank you again for your commitment and hard work. Over this summer, I shared with the university community that we would be identifying and hiring an experienced acting provost to help guide academic and student affairs during my term as acting president. I want to introduce to you the gentleman who now fills that role. His experience includes stints as provost at Bloomsburg University and the University of Abu Dhabi. Dr. James Macken. Jim, please stand. Welcome to KU. We also have a member of the Council of Trustees with us this morning. This group of individuals, the Council of Trustees, spends countless hours working on our behalf and guiding and supporting our institution. Please join me in welcoming her to this morning's event, Ms. Leticia Garcia. She's my boss now, remember that? Thank you, Leticia, for everything you do for us. Last year, we began a new tradition at this celebration when we invited our student government president to address us. At this time, I am pleased to invite the new student government board president, Mr. Joe Scaboria, to the podium for comments.
Thank you, Dr. Vargas, and congratulations on becoming our current acting president here. I'm honored to have been invited to address the faculty and administration this morning. I understand that this is the second year that the student body president was invited to speak. As I'm following last year's president, Nick Mbezi, I sure hope this isn't the last time student body president is invited. But my name is Joe Scaboria, and I'm a junior here at Kutztown University. I have a dual major in special and elementary education and a minor in history. As you can see, I've also been enjoying finding an interest in government and public service here. Before running for president, I wrote a proposal to allow all students the chance to cast a vote for student body president for the very first time, followed by the board voting. The proposal passed unanimously, and I'm honored to have been elected as this year's student body president. When I ran for the presidency, I promised the students that my administration would work on 3 critical issues: Maintaining a strong student voice is very important. I'm a lifelong resident of Berks County, and I am proud to have lived with 4,500 classmates on campus last year, the single largest population of on-campus students in this county. But something I will not stand for is the local government officials moving our voting poll 5 miles down Route 222. If any of you have read the Berks opinion or letters to the editor section of the Reading Eagle, you can probably see that we gave them quite the story this summer. I wish for our student voice to not only be strong in this county, but also at our state capital. Funding from Harrisburg is remaining flat for a third year now. Students need to come together and question that and ask why. Tax dollars going to education to keep tuition low is good for everyone here. Creating a new voting precinct may be long-term, but one item I promised is more immediate. I'm certain that the major events planned for this year, such as for homecoming weekend, by student government, the Association of Campus Events, and other student organizations, are going to be outstanding and help attract prospective students for the next year and the years to come. Campus safety is the third issue I discussed. I enjoy going out on the weekends as much as the next student, but I will not allow our university to be a place for violence and for aggression. We need to come back to the idea that here at Kutztown University we stick together and we show love and we show compassion toward one another. We need to look out for each other here. And I believe the strength of this university is right here in its faculty and staff. The mission of teaching and educating its young people is all of our job. And as student body president, I will do everything I can to help. I wish to get as many students involved as I can, because that is a way I wish to serve and to give back to the university, which has given me so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. We all look forward to working with you and your fellow students this year. The University Senate and various bargaining units are instrumental to the healthy functioning of our institution. I want to invite representatives from each area to come to the podium this morning to share their thoughts for the year ahead. First, please welcome Dr. Darrell Johnson, President of University Senate.
Thank you, Dr. Vargas, and on behalf of myself, our Vice President Jennifer Schlegel, our Secretary Lisa Norris, and all the members of the University Senate, know that we are here to work with you during this time of transition, and congratulations. We are also here to help the faculty, staff, and students. And if you want to find out more about the University Senate, there are multiple ways. You can go to our website, universitysenate.kutztown.edu. You can send an email, senate@kutztown.edu. You can talk to our clerical secretary, Pamela Rex, in the president's office. You can talk to your senator, or you can attend one of our monthly meetings, which are the first Thursday of every month at 4 p.m. in the Academic Forum. This is my fourth and final opportunity to address the campus on an opening day celebration, and I was thinking a lot about what I might say since it was my last opportunity. Last week, I was in my hometown of Valley, Nebraska, as we celebrated the town's 150th celebration. And next year will be Kutztown's sesquicentennial. So I was reflecting on what I might say. It was a weekend full of stories, and I teach storytelling here, so to use the vernacular of Nebraska, I was in hog heaven. There was nothing but stories. Stories, stories, stories. And I have been known on occasion to tell a story, so it was my kind of weekend. You see, in communication, I believe that stories are the basic mode of human communication, storytelling. They're the surest way home. They're a photograph of where we've been and a roadmap of where we might want to go. Over the last 150 years for both KU and my hometown, some of the characters have changed and are still changing. There have been plot twists and unexpected turns, actions, hardships, moments of joy and moments of sadness. But the story of my town and the story of KU is ongoing and is of great value. Stories are about being fully human, so the stories speak to us. The University Senate is simply one of the many players in Kutztown's story. Our mission is focused primarily on the policies and procedures of the university, and we are here to ensure academic excellence, maintain equality, equity, and access, fairness, and the ability to attract, retain, and most importantly, graduate students from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and our region. We seek to help to build a campus climate where we commit ourselves to the work of transforming the academy so that it will be a place where cultural diversity informs every aspect of our learning. So let me conclude with one last story. If you'll forgive me, it's a personal story, it's a town story, but I think it's also a story that resonates here at Kutztown. I missed the last Senate meeting of the year in May due to the death of my father, and as our family convened to write the eulogy, we knew it had to be about stories. My dad was a storyteller, and he had a joke or a story for everybody. And everybody in the town, that was the first thing they said, your dad had a joke or a story for us. So I guess the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. My dad lived his whole life in our town. He was synonymous with the town. He loved the town. It was all about community, family, and civic engagement. My dad was a child of the Depression, and he knew severe poverty, but he was also a rich man because he loved to give to others, and he had so much to give. But when our family was thinking about what story should we tell, we weren't sure. There were so many. Maybe it was his nickname of Toad, which many of the family, we still don't know how he got that nickname. Or maybe it was him being a volunteer fireman or helping with the Great Flood of 1978 or working in the town's largest employer for almost 50 years or his 55 years married to my mom. Or it could be the times that he would torture his children by making them ride in the car for 3 hours every weekend and hear the Mustache Joe Polka show on the radio with no escape. I'm not sure. We were saying, what story? But then my nieces said, we have to include the story of Grandpa and the green bees. The green bees. I didn't know that story. Ever since they were little, my dad would take pieces of yarn and tie them into bows. And it was green yarn, and he would call them green bees, and he would hide them all over the house, both inside and outside. And so all of a sudden you'd go, there's a green bee. Oh, there's a green bee. And they would be surprising. Even during his funeral, we opened a couple of drawers, and there were green bees. We weren't sure if my dad had hid them or if we had found them and we were storing them. I'm sure as we begin to collect the stories of Kutztown, we're going to find people like my dad that could take almost nothing and make it into something wondrous, to spark the creativity and the imagination of others, to instill that sense of community, civic engagement, and love of family. KU has had many players, many roles, and many stories to tell, and I look forward to this year as we start to collect those. So for this academic year, I wish for you the opportunity to find a green bee someplace in Kutztown, and if you don't find one, then maybe leave one for someone else. Remember, it's important not only to tell stories, but to listen to stories, because that helps us to be fully human. Now, a lot of people, when I was walking in here today, expected me to sing. And I just got to say that, remember, that was last year, not this year. So let me just end by saying, goodbye, Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, goodbye. And thank you, Dad, for teaching me about the value of storytelling. Goodbye. And have a great academic year to all of you. Wait a minute, I said that this is our ongoing story, so I don't have to say goodbye. I just have to say thank you, and I hope to see you at the first Senate meeting on September 4th in the Academic Forum at 4 o'clock. Thank you.
How can you follow that? Thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you for those words of wisdom that you have shared with us. Our next speaker is Professor Helen Bieber, Vice President of AFSCME, the Faculty Union.
Good morning. AFSCME would like to welcome each and every one of you back to the start of a new semester and a new year. Dr. Quinn was unable to join us today, but he's asked me to share some of his thoughts with you. In many ways, it's the start of a brand new era. We have a new acting president, and with this, new opportunities for educating and helping to mold the future of Pennsylvania. As we wish Dr. Vargas great success in this new role, we are confident that he will continue to work closely with the faculty and with the staff here to help make this year a positive and fulfilling one. We face many challenges campus-wide. We again have flat funding from the state, lower enrollments. Many of us here, faculty included, are in the last year of our contracts with negotiations ahead and all of the concerns that go along with that. However, Paul and I believe, excuse me, that if we all work together, we can overcome the issues that lie ahead. Faculty, if you're not already aware, please let me pass along an item that occurred a few days before the start of the month. Dr. Vargas asked for an emergency meet and discuss. We met and were informed by him that even though state funding was not what we had hoped, even though enrollments were slightly down, he was not going to issue a letter indicating possible retrenchments for this year. There would be no retrenchments. Dr. Vargas, for that, AFSCME thanks you. On to what we hope to accomplish this year. One of the things AFSCME has on its list is improving communications between faculty and faculty, faculty and management and faculty. Sometimes we feel as if we're not really sure what one hand is doing, and we have already begun communications with Dr. Vargas to try and resolve that problem. Another issue that AFSCME hopes to conquer this year is our SRI, a seemingly never-ending challenge. And for those of you that have been around almost as long as I have, you'll know that this is nowhere near as long as we've been working on it. At the close of the previous semester, faculty were asked to voice their opinion on implementing the new IDEA SRI via a faculty-wide electronic poll. Over 100 tenured faculty voted, with the majority voting not to implement ideas. The poll results, and more detailed information will be sent out to you later on, which will be used to be discussed by departments and by Rep Council at their first meeting to decide how we proceed from here. As I said, Paul and I feel the key to decision-making is communication, and in the future, one of the things we will be doing for faculty input on important issues is to be using electronic polling. So please, if you do see something coming out from AFSCME asking for your reply, please do reply. It gives us a quick and easy method of getting in touch with the vast majority of faculty in a short period of time. We also want to work with departments in development of departmental standards for both promotion and tenure. The CBA allows for departments to put criteria for tenure and promotion in writing, making it clear to faculty in their departments applying for those, for promotion or tenure, just what is expected of them in their discipline. Many departments have done this or are currently working on it, including ours, but a number of departments have not. We would like all departments to have guidelines for tenure and promotion, even if it's a simple one-page summary so that the process becomes clear and those applying know what benchmarks they are expected to achieve. We believe it will also help the UTC and the UPC in their tasks. In closing, I'd like to welcome everyone back, wish you all a successful, productive, and rewarding academic year. Thank you.
Please welcome Mr. Ray Dunkel, Jr., representing AFSCME.
Good morning, faculty, staff, students. I'm Ray Dunkel, Jr., President of AFSCME Local 2234. And on behalf of the officers, executive board, and myself, we want to welcome you to the 2014-2015 school year. The last 4 years have been especially challenging under Governor Corbett's administration. He has been no friend of the higher education system. Big cuts the first 2 years, flat funding the following 2 years. And now we're in a position where we have a chance to vote on a governor who is about giving to the education system the well-deserved monies it needs so our students can receive a quality education at a fair price. We hope everyone has registered to vote and exercise this privilege in the November election. Tom Wolf is the candidate of our choice for the union, and we're supporting him. It is gratifying to see the union's management and students all rally together to fight this injustice. We still need to get the politicians to see without education, this great country of ours is going to end up as a third world nation. This is something none of us ever want to see happen. None of our members lost our jobs, but we had to move some people to other jobs to keep everyone employed. But the trials are not over. We are still being challenged again. But we must remember that in today's job market, we must learn to be a little more flexible. It is wonderful that we received the approval to hire some of our temporary personnel and hope that they soon will be able to be hired as full-time employees. Our leaders need to realize how important everyone's job here is at the university. Even though as a country we were dealing with tough economic times, we're still proving to ourselves and to other countries that we still are a united front and we're working together and will be sticking together to get through these trying times. But we want our members to know we hear and understand your issues. We too are affected by the same problems each and every one of you have to deal with. We want you to know we are doing our best to address your concerns. The executive board meets every month for an hour before the general membership meeting, and it also meets once a month with management to discuss your concerns. We ask our fair share members to step up and join as a full member so they also can meet with the current members on the third Monday of the month at Janelle's Catering in Bowers at 7 p.m. The food is still on us. So, in closing, I'd encourage all of us to continue to work together because accomplishments will happen when we work together and we all stick together. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ray. Our next speaker is Mr. R. Chad Brown, President of SCUPA. Chad is also a member of the KU Presidential Search Committee and will first give us a brief update on the status of the search.
Good morning, all. As a member of the Presidential Search Committee, I have been asked to share a message on behalf of Mr. Jack Wabi, the chair of both the Council of Trustees and the Presidential Search Committee. Mr. Wabi is sorry he could not be with us today. During the summer break, the Council of Trustees confirmed the members of the Presidential Search Committee and confirmed that Greenwood, Asher & Associates was selected to provide the executive search services. The search is scheduled to begin early this semester. A website is being created to keep the community abreast of the search. We will notify you via the daily brief when the website is live. We are excited to begin the process to select the next permanent leader of our great institution and look forward to involving as many of you as possible in the search process. Thank you. That part. Good morning, President Vargas, esteemed faculty, staff, and guests. My name is Archad Brown, and I am the current campus president for the State College and Universities Professional Association, SCUPA. In reflecting back on the past year and looking forward, I thought to myself, what do I want to talk about today? And it came to me, making a difference in KU Pride. As a member of SCUPA, we have the unique opportunity to impact the lives of our students that we encounter each day, both through informal and formal interactions that make a difference. We work long hours, and often hours that are not the most desirable, to achieve our goals, whether that be in financial aid, career development, bursars, or housing and residence life. The work that we do is important to the student experience and does not go unnoticed by our students. We each do and create lasting memories for our students. While working in the Center for Academic Success and Achievement, I would recall sitting in my office one afternoon when a student came in and sat down and asked if I had a minute. Of course I had a minute. The student and I spoke about a variety of things, mostly non-school related. And then right as we were winding up our conversation, the student said, "Thank you," and I said, "For what?" They said, "For taking a minute and listening." We all have moments like this that we can share. However, we often forget to look back on them and realize just how much of a difference we make, not only for ourselves, but for our students and colleagues. I hope we can take pride in our work as SCUPAs. Pride is defined as a feeling of satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom we work closely associated, or qualities or possessions that are widely admired. As members of the KU community, we each take individual pride in not only our day-to-day work, but the work we do with and for our students. As we start this new year, we need to continue to not only have pride in ourselves, but for others around us, whether you're on the road recruiting new students, providing a late-night event, or volunteering for a community service project. As we continue to evolve as a university, we have to take pride in our accomplishments and understand that we make a difference. As I always say, when you were little, none of us stood up and ran across the room. We all fell down a few times before we ran. In the coming year as SCUPA, we are faced with our statewide contract negotiations, and I challenge you to make a difference in the process. As the professionals on campus, we work long hours, and in the past few years, due to contract language, SCUPA employees have donated hours to the state system. Now is the time to show KU and the state that we all have pride in all that we do and allow the statewide team to make a difference for all of us as we have done for our students throughout the years. The opportunities and decisions are in front of you, and I thank you for your time and wholeheartedly wish you a wonderful new semester filled with KU pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Chad. Please welcome Sergeant Barry Oldhouse, KU's SPFPA representative.
Okay, I will not let you down. This will be very, very short. First, I'm not seeing Mr. Watchers out there. If anybody remembers, I still have the ticket from last year. If we could just get that taken care of. Okay. Okay, moving forward. And that's kind of our goal here, moving forward. New year, it's almost an opportunity to start over and refocus. New students, new faces, some familiar faces. We get to instill our way of guiding young males and females into the future. Give them a heads up of what we've learned and what we've experienced. I thank everybody for that opportunity. I look forward to meeting new students and doing my job. Okay, and that's what we're all here to do. We're going to face a lot of changes. We always do, and we always come out on top. So let's go forth in the new year and do the same thing. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. I am very proud that we have a very talented and caring faculty at Kutztown University that rivals any in the state system and beyond. For 20 straight years on opening day, we have recognized faculty excellence through the presentation of the Arthur and Isabel Wiesenberger Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching. Before we present this year's honor, I would like to acknowledge the previous award recipients by college. Some of these exceptional individuals are here today, and I will ask them to stand when I call their name and remain standing. Please hold your applause until all the names are read. From the College of Business, Professor Arifin Danishar, Professor Thomas Grant, Professor James Ogden, Professor Dave Wagaman. From the College of Education, Professor Kathleen Dolgos, Professor David Peterson. From the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Professor Alan Back, Professor Patrick Duddy, Professor Ed Evans, Professor Michael Gabriel, Professor John Loomis, Professor Alida McKinley, Professor Elaine Reed, Professor Randy Schaefer, Professor Jack Schellenberg, Professor Robert Ziegenfuss. And from the College of Visual and Performing Arts, Professor John Landis, Professor Willis Rapp, Professor Tom Shantz, Professor Evan Sommer. Thank you all again for everything you have done for Kutztown University students and for this institution as a whole. The Wiesenberger Award is once again sponsored by the KU Alumni Association under the direction of the KU Foundation and Alumni Relations. I would like to ask Mr. Alex Ojika, Director of Development and Alumni Relations, to join me at this time to present this year's award. The recipient of the 2014 Arthur and Isabel Wiesenberger Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching is Professor Lori Engstrom. I didn't finish, but she is a member of the Department of Sport Management and Leadership Studies. Professor Engstrom, congratulations. During the course of an academic year, there's so much that happens on a university campus. Beginning tomorrow, when our students return to campus for moving day, many lessons will be learned in our classrooms, and they will continue through early May. There will be beautiful fall weekends bustling with activity, including countless sports events. Friendships will be developed that our students forge through our countless organizations and in our living community. And finally, the excitement and emotion associated with commencement. We are truly privileged to work in an environment where we actually get to make a difference for our future generations. I think the old saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words," is true. Pictures are perhaps the best way to express the Kutztown University experience and the pride we feel in the institution. At this time, I would like to invite you to join me in watching a video presentation entitled, notice, 365 Days in 3 minutes and 38 seconds. While this video represents just a small sampling of all the fabulous happenings on our campus, it touches on more than 100 highlights from the past year. Please direct your attention to the screen. That's what Kutztown is all about. After seeing those images, and as we enter a new year, I am proud to be part of this institution and to serve as acting president. The images reinforce our reason for being here, the students. 1 year from now, we will begin our sesquicentennial celebration, 150 years. Now, is that impressive or what? We're still ticking. When we were founded as Keystone Normal School in 1866, we were placed here on College Hill to provide the best educational experience possible for the students of our region, particularly Berks, Lehigh, and Schuylkill counties. 149 years later, while our institution has grown significantly, our mission remains very much the same: to provide a quality learning experience and to prepare students of the region, and now the state, nation, and world for their careers and lives ahead. Over the next year, we must recommit to our origins, our roots, if you will, by ensuring that we put our students first. We all know that there are challenges that we must face as we lead Kutztown University back to full strength. In the weeks ahead, there will be other times and places to discuss our challenges and solutions. Today, however, I want to spend a few minutes talking about the primary reason we are all here, and about my focus as acting president in the months ahead. What I will share with you will only take a few minutes. I will be brief. But I hope that these thoughts, which I believe are shared by all, will remain with us. As we go through the 2014-15 academic year, I will be routinely asking variations of one basic question. What impact does the work we are doing at Kutztown University have on the student learning experience? This question, of course, will take different forms. If you are an administrator making decisions about the budget, how does funding or not funding this specific project impact the student learning experience? If you're a staff member working with students on financial aid, payment of accounts, or student records, how does your interaction with students impact the student learning experience? If you're a faculty member, how does this course that you may have designed and are delivering create a positive and long-lasting student learning experience? If you're a residence life coordinator, how does the living community you are nurturing impact the student learning experience? If you're a coach or a student affairs professional providing co-curricular experiences, how does your style, your approach, your strategy enhance the student learning experience? And as the acting president of the university, I will ask myself, how does what I am doing each and every day contribute to and support the student learning experience? If we are going to improve the student learning experience, we must all ask ourselves on a continuous basis, does this work that I am doing benefit students? Am I putting students first and foremost in what I do? In our leadership roles, are the decisions we make responding to the needs of the students? In the learning experiences we provide to our students, are these experiences actually increasing our students' learning? In our interactions with individual students, in our offices, are we providing them with the things they need? With the processes that we put in place, have we created a pathway that is as smooth and as obstacle-free as possible for students to be successful and graduate in a timely fashion? The bottom line, when we call ourselves a student-centered institution, are our actions consistent with our words? At the heart of the Middle State Standards is the question of the new Middle State Standards. Are students well served by the institution? When our self-study is complete in 2017, I want our institution to be able to answer yes, Kutztown University is serving students well. Now, please know that I am aware, without a doubt, that many individuals at the university are serving our students quite well and act in ways that contribute positively to the student learning experience. But there is room for improvement. I believe that we need to operationalize the concept of being a student-centered university. To reiterate, we must place the student learning experience at the center of our work. We must look at our business processes from the perspective of a student. In this next year, my approach will be to explicitly view decisions, actions, interactions, programs, and all that we do through the lens of the student learning experience. Now, this does not mean that the student will only be seen as a customer and as a consequence that the student is always right. But our students should be treated with respect and civility. We need to remember that most of our students are young adults and that they look to us to help them develop and mature. And much of what we do is foreign to them. We need to guide them in a caring manner, and we need to be patient. Putting the student learning experience at the center of our work means, among others, that we create processes that are smooth and easy to follow, that we have interactions that help students get what they need to succeed, that we create classroom experiences that help students gain the knowledge, skills, and attitudes appropriate to the discipline, and that we create out-of-classroom experiences that will provide opportunities to reinforce the learning that is taking place in the classroom. In summary, I ask you please all to join me this year by reflecting on our work and ensuring that it is contributing positively to the student learning experience. If we take time to do so and make the necessary adjustments, we will find that Kutztown University will have made the transformational changes needed to help our students be successful for decades to come. I promised that I would be brief. Was I? In closing, I want to thank you for coming this morning, and most of all, thank you for the many contributions that you give to our students. It is such a pleasure to serve you, and I look forward to all that we can accomplish together in the months ahead. Thank you again, and let's make this an outstanding year.